Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for August 20th to 26th. This week I read one book, I watched one TV show, I watched two movies, sort of, and I listened to one book. For those of you keeping score at home, this video is going up a day later than usual because I wanted that wedding video to go up as soon as possible. Since you're getting a video every day this month from me, I figured that nobody would notice except for me. First this week I finished Arabella and the Battle of Venus by David D. Levin. This is the second in the Arabella Ashby series. This book picks up a few months after the last book ended and it includes some interesting alternative steampunk history that includes Napoleon, his escape from being exiled to the moon, and a special cameo by a British naval admiral. This installment takes place in 1815 in a reality where space travel has already been invented, Mars has already been colonized, and Venus is the next adventure destination. Space travel in this reality is made possible by ships that are basically nautical ships that have been redesigned to move in more directions, such as, up and down, for a start. I read the first book in this series during the library-a-thon, TBR video linked down below, and I absolutely loved it. Well, the sun is coming up, great. This is a book that I pretty much wanted to reread immediately, which is an urge that is very rare for me. Once I learned that a sequel was on the horizon, which is a little nautical wordplay for you, I immediately put it on hold at the library. I thought this was a really fun sequel, although I was a little bit weirded out by the love triangle. That aspect was tied up in a very hurried fashion, but hopefully that just means it won't interfere with the next adventure. I can only assume there will be another book in the series, but given the fact that this book just came out last month, I imagine I'll be waiting a while. This week in Game of Thrones we watched the 6th season and the first episode of the 7th season. As of recording this, we have 3 episodes left, so I'm staying off the internet and hoping that nobody at work, be it somebody I work with or a patron, decides that they need to discuss Game of Thrones within earshot of me. I've been blissfully spoiler-free so far, and I'd like to keep it that way. I'm watching the rest of the episodes tonight. And I think we only started watching the series last month. Some of it was a rewatch for me, and I knew quite a bit more content from reading the books. This has been quite an accelerated viewing, especially when you consider I've gone on 2 trips during this time. Pardon me while I alter the lighting. I can sort of see now. I hope that you can too. The other night my dad and I watched the first 15 minutes of Ironrath before declaring it completely unwatchable. We kind of knew we wouldn't make it through after about 5 minutes, but we were kind of having fun asking ourselves how this movie with a terrible script, horrid acting, and a budget that apparently didn't include a tripod got made. We then went from one unknown movie starring a Pulp Fiction actor to another and watched Reasonable Doubt. The script wasn't much better. They reused 2 establishing shots, but at least Samuel L. Jackson acted the crap out of what he was given. About 15 or 20 minutes into the movie, I correctly identified how most of the movie would go, and continued to indicate how other parts of the movie would play out. It was better than the movie than we DNF'd, which isn't saying much, but it wasn't fantastic. This week, I listened to The Penultimate Peril by Lemony Snicket, the 12th and penultimate adventure in the series of unfortunate events. This is the last of the alliterative titles, and I'm sad to say that things have taken quite a turn for the dark side. The children are undercover at a hotel, and they do not know who to trust. Siblings with twins or triplets run rampant in this series, so they don't know which of the managers is the good one or the bad one, and they don't know who from their past is on their side. Like I've mentioned before, I am preparing myself for a terrible ending, but I'm glad to report that Tim Curry has taken us this far and finishes out the series. I'm sure that I'll feel strongly about the ending next week, but at this point I'm on the edge of my seat, a phrase which here means waiting in great anticipation. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know down in the comments below. On the way down in the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!